Hey, it's Hannah here, and today we're going to be looking at another technique to help horses overcome fear, in particular for horses who are head shy. Now this is actually Rachel's training with Rachel's rescued horse Roisin, and when Roisin arrived to Rachel she had a lot of issues, but one of the main ones was an extreme fear of anything going near her head, especially if it touched her ears. So ropes, reins, bridles, fly masks. She would just completely panic and she would spin and spin and spin until she got the thing off her ears. And afterwards she'd be very tense, she'd be trembling, sometimes she'd even be sweating. So it was a very deep-seated fear that Roisin had. And so we're going to show you how the techniques that Rachel used to help change that completely, so that having things put on her head became one of Roisin's favourite games. And so not only did she become relaxed about it, she actually loves having it, and you can see here she's like asking for the fly mask to be put on, which is just the most incredible change. So I did mention that this is another technique to help horses overcome fear. There are 101 different ways to approach every different training situation, and you can see some of our other approaches like using targets and building it up very, very slowly, all these different techniques that you can use in some of our other videos. But it's worth having some other techniques for when those don't work. So this could be because of the particular horse that you're working with, or just that it's a really deep-seated fear, or the particular behaviour. And so this, when some other techniques hadn't really worked with Roisin, Rachel did it completely differently. So she actually trained Roisin with a green cloth. And I can hear you thinking, what's a green cloth got to do with bridles and ropes and things? And that is exactly the point. Because the green cloth was something completely new to Roisin, she didn't have any of the previous fear associated with it. So whereas when there were kind of ropes or bridles around, she was already feeling all that old anxiety. Whereas with the green cloth it was completely new, so she didn't feel that. So Rachel could completely train the behaviour without having to really overcome those fear responses which were associated with the bridles and the reins and things. So here's Rachel explaining the steps that she took to help Roisin use the green cloth to overcome her head shy fears.
So I started playing around with just sort of rubbing over the cloth and things, and just one day I just did that and she just dropped her head, and I just started playing with it, and so like that, just as she dropped her head, until we got to the point where we could go,
wow, bless her.
And then I thought, well, it's got to be more like a rein, so I've made it like that. Good.
Oh.
Yeah, so good. That's a good girl. And then I just asked her to drop her head. Oops. More. And kept it up there. Good. And just started playing around like that. Until we could go. Good. Well done. Then we started with, then I thought, well, I'll try it with the bridle because it was so successful with the reins. So did this, didn't we? Good girl. Well done.
What a
clever girl. Good girl. And then the other day I came out and I didn't have my green cloth, and I thought, oh, what am I going to do? And then I just went like this. Good. Good girl. Good. Well done, you.
Good. So as you can see, it was very, very powerful and effective, and completely changed Roisin's emotions and therefore her behaviour around things touching her ears. Made her a much happier, much more relaxed horse. So head on over to our blog now, follow the link, and Rachel explains there about the science behind why this works, what's actually going on in the brain to change these emotional associations. So head on over there to find out more about the science behind why this technique works, and I'll leave you with the video once again of Roisin soliciting having her fly mask put on, which is just absolutely wonderful to see.